we'll bring the September 11th meeting of the Tilton Northfield Fire and EMS Fire Station Building Committee to order at 5:37. We're at the Tilton Town Hall. Those present: Dennis, Tim, Chief, Kevin, Lisa, Paul. Nobody from the public, and I would like to, I'm not worried about the firemen not being here tonight, but Nate, we need to,
Okay.
I'll contact Nate and find out what's going on, because he's missed a number of.
Derek said he'd be here, but he's finishing up the fire right now.
Okay. So the first order of business is the meeting minutes from September 2nd. Has everyone had a chance to read them?
I have not,
Okay.
but if you want to.
No,
Yes.
that one, that's perfectly
I'm
fine.
still reading.
You should read it.
Which is those,
Structural notes.
they're in the packet.
They didn't come in that. It's from a week or so ago.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, that's okay. I think this is embodied in what Guerrero said.
So,
Everyone good with the minutes?
Make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just at the adjournment, it says a motion was made to adjourn at, and there's no time written down.
Did I miss that?
Because you got to the last page and said, oh, it's just the adjournment, so you didn't even read it.
It was late, it was after 8, wasn't it?
4.
Well, no, hopefully she can find that somewhere.
It'll be on the video.
Okay,
Okay, I'll have a quick, add that in when she.
We'll have to guess, because remember it kept running and we were still talking. We
That's
adjourned
right,
the
it
meeting
did.
and the thing just kept, we never
But
shut it
it'll be on
Oh,
that
on
video
that, yeah.
too.
okay, so the motion is for the minutes. Let's modify that motion as corrected.
I'll modify my motion to, yes, this is Dennis modifying his motion to accept the minutes as corrected.
I think Kevin
I'll,
was one
st- I'll still say that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Okay, so a lot has gone on since our last meeting. I think what I'd like to do is just review the team's meeting from this Monday, or Tuesday, the 8th,
I think it was Monday.
Monday the 8th.
Yes, I was home.
And then we'll move into the package that the chief just presented us. So Monday morning's team meetings, it was Joe and Brian from Guerrero, the chief, and myself. And Brian talked with Tom, who's the president of Lorero, and Tom would like to have two. Tom and his marketing team would like to have two public outreach meetings, one in Tilton, one in Northfield. And they would like to schedule them for October 23rd and October 30th. They're both Thursday evenings. And I guess what we should do is,
I just thought of something. Thursday evenings is when the Tilton Select Board meets, so, but they're every other Thursday, so I don't know if it's the first and third or second and fourth. Probably, well, if I had a computer, I guess it would work out better. So if we do stick with those dates, we should make sure that the one in Tilton is not on the same night as the Select Board meeting. Because I'm sure the Select Board would probably want to attend.
You don't.
yes.
Actually works, I was like, oof, but actually the third Wednesday falls on the 16th, so 23rd's open, although I'd like to spend
The
my
third
birthday somewhere.
Thursday though.
is
Talking
never
Thursdays,
Right,
Yeah.
Thursday. You said Wednesday.
Oh, did I say Wednesday?
I knew
I'm
what
sorry.
you meant. So, would you like, is there any discussion about those dates? Would you guys like to?
Do you know why they chose those
I
days?
suspect it's late enough that they can get all this information compiled. And I did not ask them specifically, but I suspect it has something to do with Tom's availability also, speculating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The selectmen are meeting, the Tilton selectmen are meeting 3 times, the first, third, and fifth Thursday, so. The Tilton selectmen are meeting on the 30th.
So we should do Tilton on, well, any further discussion about those 2 dates? There's no reason the selectmen, we're not gonna say the Northfield meeting is for Northfield residents only. So
We're just
that,
having 2 meetings.
yeah, right,
Right.
It's 2 opportunities.
exactly,
Is there a week apart?
yes.
Do we have locations?
Next discussion point, let's get the dates first. Focus, Lisa, focus.
We looked at the dates.
Well, is everybody fine with that?
I can actually do those 2 Thursdays.
It makes, definitely makes a certain amount of sense. I mean, 1 week behind the other, each town, 2 opportunities for everybody.
People that go to the first meeting, they have time to regurgitate things and attend the second meeting. Okay, next question, locations. So, one in Northfield, one in Tilton, what are your thoughts?
We gotta have a place where, I'd like to see a place that would accommodate probably a fairly decent sized crowd. I'm hoping, I'm open. You know, I know we've had hearings in the past at like the middle school cafeteria, that's not a bad venue. I don't know if the high school is more problematic or easier or what. Northfield's got, if we wanna keep it local in the town of Northfield,
Park Street Station,
Park Street Station.
pull the equipment out, set up 30 or 40 chairs, have a table. Do you have a projection screen?
I haven't looked at that yet.
If we have to rent one, we'll rent.
Yeah.
So we'll have a projection screen.
We got a little one, but I don't
It's
think
gotta
it's
be
big
something
enough.
big enough for,
Lorero might have one. They do.
Yeah.
And that's what I.
you know, what we
thought
could
too.
do, Tilton PB has that one we use for the movies on the riverfront.
I think I actually have it.
That's like 40 feet tall and 60 feet wide.
Won't
Holy
fit-
crap.
won't fit
That won't fit in the station.
But how do they, when will that?
Does that come on a trailer?
It's a blow up. But anyways, I was just being a smart ass. So that, you know, we just need to make sure that either Lorero has a screen or we do. So is Park Street amenable to everybody?
Well, you had mentioned outside, I mean, what about Center Street for the Tilton?
Well, wait
location?
a sec.
Oh.
One at a time. Focus, Dennis, focus. No, I think, My conversations with townspeople in Northfield have kind of been based upon what's wrong with Park Street. So I think having a meeting there, take the time to show some of these deficiencies, some of the potential issues, I think is good. Any comments?
I agree.
I'm not opposed to it. Do we have chairs? Where do you come up with chairs?
We have like 12 or 13 chairs. we can rent some if we need to.
I'm good with Park.
Is there, I mean, are we joking here, or is seating gonna be an issue? 'Cause if seating's gonna be an issue, I go to the Pines. Because they got
I
1,000
absolutely disagree. I will not attend any meeting at the Pines for one reason and one reason only. The acoustics in that room is horrible. I attend select board meetings in there, I can't hear what they're saying. It just reverberates. That's the worst room in the town for a public meeting, in my opinion.
But you can sit and hear that reverberation.
Well-
They need to hang things on the wall that will take care of it.
The town,
Yeah, it is not the best acoustically, I can tell you that.
the town of Northfield must have chairs we could borrow, the town of Tilton.
The Pines probably has chairs we
We
can borrow,
can,
if we have to borrow them.
Maybe.
I'm not worried about chairs.
I know they do, because I've
Oh, they
stacked
have
them
town.
on those,
Yeah,
those
right.
they have town
things.
meeting
So, Park Street, okay, Park Street it is. Tilton. We talked at the meeting about the possibility of the police station, comfortable, good sized room.
Good AV.
I, for the same reason as Park Street, I would lean towards having it at Center Street. And if people complain that there's no parking, welcome to the real world. Park on Main Street, park in the municipal parking lot.
Is parking an issue? I mean, the only people that need to park, we don't,
Parking's always an issue on Main Street of Tilton.
oh, it is, but what I'm saying is the only people we need parking for the most part, is our people. There's never gonna be as many people working at Center Street as hopefully
there.
come to
He's
that
talking
meeting.
about attendees. Where you go.
But I understand what Paul was doing, I almost agree with that, it's just like, you know, the emphasis is like, I'm like, hey, this is freaking impossible to get around. You know, it's just that, like, see what we're talking about? Although, but on the flip side, I think everybody agrees that no one's really arguing about a 158-year-old building that needs replaced, so trying to make a point at Center Street, not necessarily is it needed, we do it, but is
It's
it
a
really?
lot less work and a lot better meeting conditions at the PD than it will be here, even upstairs here, you got the parking problem here.
Well, and over there at Center Street, there's a lot of equipment in the middle of that, those 2 days.
And we can't really pull the equipment out and park it out front, because
You're
it's
parking in the
Second Street.
Well, by equipment, I think Tim is also referencing the,
Right.
roads
Here.
that
Yeah,
have
here,
gears.
and, yeah, a lot of stuff in there.
I think the PD's the place to be if we can get it.
The problem with Center Street also is the parking, and say that we've got 40 people that want to attend that meeting, they're gonna drive around in the circle a couple times, say there's no place to park, I'm going home.
That's true.
Where in the station would you have them?
They have to be in the apparatus bays, we have to pull
Right.
the trucks out.
Because you're not sending people up those and
Where the
down
hell
those
do you put
stairs.
the vehicles?
There's really not that much room upstairs, really.
No, there isn't, but I'm just, the stairs are, they scare me. I've come down a few times going, whoa, if you fall, you're,
There's a railing on both sides.
I
to hold
know
it.
there
They're
is,
too
but-
far away though, so you can't hold both at the same time.
So
Seriously?
I can
No,
I was
they're
gonna say,
close
that I thought it was pretty narrow.
Yeah, it's only 3 feet wide.
I'll contact Chief Gilman to see if the police station is available for either of those nights. Is that what you guys think?
Plenty of parking.
Yeah.
I think so.
There's no better place, I can't think of a better place, unless we go into that new
Well, as a
resort.
Tilton taxpayer, I'd like to see that room get used.
There you go.
I mean, it does get used, but it's like, that's what it's there for. We had to have that big baby, so it's like,
Yeah.
might as well use it.
And you said the Tilton Board of Selectmen is the 30th?
Correct.
So that should be the first one, yeah. Have the second meeting
In-
Yeah. But I think flexibility as to whether we can get the police station room.
So
So
what we're
we can have-
thinking is October 23rd in Tilton and the 30th in Northfield.
Is the
But you're
station
gonna check the
available?
availability of that room for
Always
either
there.
day, right? In
I'll
case
do
one
that.
is not- yeah.
So make sure the station down there is available.
Yeah.
For those 2 days.
Okay, so public outreach, the end of October. So, Brian requested the address database. He wanted to look at the survey that we had presented to the townspeople to get an idea of what points he should be focusing on. And he also requested an address spreadsheet database so that he could send invitations to everybody that received the survey. So he has that. So the rest of the discussion, it was a very short meeting, the rest of the discussion was about the Plimo vent and what type of sensor system do we use. And the chief told them we're gonna use the same system we have now. Question about a fresh air inlet for the FCBA room. And then digital displays in the offices. For instance, the captain's office or the deputy chiefs of the administrative offices, do we want monitors on the wall? Garage door at Sanborn Road. They had not yet determined the cost of eliminating or the benefit of eliminating doors and adding walls at the meeting. It's in the package that you have tonight. We'll go over that. He said that we'd have new budgets, which we have, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing information, which we have, and the conversation turned towards these pilings that are going to limit the liquefaction of the soil at Park Street. So that is also in the information that we have. So that's an outline of our meeting.
So, Brian did call me today, he had another question, and one of the things he related to me was that he's 95% sure that we will not have to have the pilings, which is good, because that's like
That's huge.
$300,000.
Okay.
And additionally, we're gonna have to move the Monday meeting to Tuesday next week.
Every week or
No, just next week. I'm off on Monday.
You've been taking a lot of time off lately. Just
So what you're saying, move what?
no, it's the teams.
The teams
Oh, the
meeting.
teams meeting, oh, okay.
So it's the 23rd. No,
No,
it's the 16th.
next Tuesday instead of next
Right.
Monday.
Okay, so now I've had the luxury of reading through all this information that you guys just have
And
just received. Because
And before you really look at the dates on the documents, we've made a lot of changes in our decisions compared to the dates on these documents. So there are things in these documents that are incorrect because they have not been updated to the most recent of our decision-making process.
So what Brian wanted to do was get the outline of this information to us. There are some things that need to be changed. There is a rough order of magnitude price, which the last page of that first section. And personally, I'm not going to present this number outside of this meeting. I think that this is a rough order of magnitude number. And I don't think it's going to serve us to throw that out until it's more perfected. Because there's things like the piling in here, for instance. So I might bring your attention to the alternate number 1 at Sanborn Road. So to eliminate those 3 doors, there's the $32,000 adder.
That's because block costs more than doors, right?
And labor.
And
Block,
labor.
labor and everything. So that's a no-brainer.
So
What's the difference in time and efficiency?
How long is it gonna take to recoup $32,000 in heating? Expend that.
I think I read where the doors were R16 rated.
Yep.
Kevin, what does that mean? What's like 6-inch insulation in the wall?
Well, the door's not gonna be 6 inches thick. It's,
No,
the overhead doors are
It's the
typically spray foam.
insulation.
No, I understand. I'm trying to compare like a,
R19 in a fiberglass
Yeah.
mat or roll in a residential wall. It's
Or
fine.
nine.
R19.
Yeah,
R19.
is your new
So
wall.
this is almost the equivalent in the door, right?
What'd you say, 60?
60.
Yeah.
That's the door itself. The
No, I know
the
you've got-
seals.
Seals,
Yeah,
maintenance.
mine are highly, it goes
Repairs and
in the
replacement.
winter and you just put your hand near the ceiling, yeah, I know. But it's an attempt.
The other thing here is the alternate number 2, which is radiant heaters. And that 7,000 is for a single 30-foot section. And I would suggest that we would probably need 3 sections. We, of course, have them do a heat loss survey, but that's,
Is this in addition to how the building would typically be heated, or is this
no,
replacing?
an alternative.
Alternative.
It's either gonna be unit heaters or the radiant tube.
Oh, okay.
So the
It's gonna be what?
unit heaters, like a Resnor gas-fired unit. So that's in the price. If we want to switch that to the radiant, it's going to be $7,000 each.
And the pros and cons of those 2 different heating sources?
So the radiant heaters tend to heat your body, so you feel warm even if the room is cool. Where a unit heater is fan forced and it's circulating warm air.
Okay, so we're not talking about radiant heat in the floor.
No. And that's one of the things in one of these reports is it's still listed radiant floor heating. We'll go through that in a minute.
And that's, they're not proposing radiant heat, that's what you're saying.
No, we we just asked them for a price comparison of the radiant versus unit heaters.
Kevin, what would you, I guess I'm wondering what your opinion would be on the two different ways to heat the space.
I believe your radiant tube is gonna recover
Faster.
more quickly. Because you open those doors and you've lost your heat.
Are they more efficient over time?
I don't think the efficiency
I
is
don't know how
much
much difference
different.
there could actually be. Do you have any idea, Chief?
So, in my experience over my 40-something career, we've had the forced hot air in there, and they've been fine. They recover quickly enough when you open the doors. The radiant tubes, my only experience with that is at like Lowe's or Home Depot, standing underneath them at the register or something like that. So
They are power vented also, so they vent out the side wall, the radiance.
Some of our buildings have those, see. I just don't know why they were selected
The-
over.
The
Fuel for
benefit
either would be
is,
natural gas, right?
they're
yeah,
both natural gas.
In
Yeah.
both locations?
Yeah.
the benefit is that the radiant heat heats your body.
Well, I mean, we're using them in buildings that nobody's in, I mean, the warehouses.
Yeah, the heat objects, is like.
Yeah, they heat the
heat
fire
objects
truck will
instead
stay
of
warm.
air.
You're standing, if you're not, like say it's over the fire truck, if you're standing in the aisle between the two fire trucks, you don't feel that heat. It's whatever the temperature of the room is. That radiant heat will heat up the truck, and then the truck will radiate heat sideways. I just go with the forced hot air personally.
I would think if you're bringing in, although if you're backing in a truck that's dripping water on the floor or snow on the floor, it seems like you'd want the ones that are blowing air around to dry up the floor faster. I don't know.
Well,
I can't offer.
I've never, like I said, I've never complained about the forced hot air.
I don't know what the efficiency difference is, but I can't imagine it being great. But if your heating bill's $100,000 a year, and it's 3 or 4% more efficient.
Right.
Well, we heat Park Street using the forced hot air heaters, and our bill isn't really all that much.
Yep.
No. There's 3 of them running that in that place.
okay, so you want to scratch the radiant tubes and leave the 3 doors? Is that what we think?
I think so, yes.
I agree, yeah.
Tim?
I guess so.
Kevin?
I don't think it's a deal breaker either way. I don't think it's gonna make any difference.
Well,
Talking that
just,
kind of money.
we,
The
in order,
two together is, what, $50,000?
well,
2132.
7 times
the 2 other buildings, I mean, there's 2
times
buildings
6
for the
is
heat
1,
cup.
2
Are the radiant tubes 7,000
each.
in each building?
Each
No.
tube.
Each
Each
tube
tube.
in each building.
Yeah, so there has to be in there 30 feet. So there has to be, they have to be longer than 30 feet really, because we have the base are 80 feet.
So is the number really 14,000?
No.
If it's 30 feet for
7,000 per 30, yes, so that number
So
So
goes
if you
way
need
up.
2 in each bay, it's really 14,000.
Yeah, 14
Per
times
Well,
6.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
At the end of the day, you're probably gonna have 2 or 3 rows, which
Oh, yeah.
2 heaters
That's
in
what I'm
each
saying.
row.
Yeah.
So it could be 6 or 8 easily total.
Yeah,
Because
they want-
Each
Yes.
each building, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So when you do the multiplications, how about $7,000?
Right.
way more.
Right.
So yeah.
I didn't win that big mega bucks, so many millions, so, you know what I'm
I
saying?
won $8
Worse than you not with it, I didn't know.
The 31,000 where they say add on the doors,
What's that?
where they say
I
add
guess I didn't
31.8, I wonder if they included the fact that they now have steel frames where they must have.
They,
Must have thought of that. I can see where, yes, you, a construction of the wall probably costs that. But now that you're not constructing the wall, you have a steel frame.
well, I
Is it lit
assume
though?
that they took
Probably.
all the construction considerations
I would hope,
into
yeah,
account.
yes.
No,
All
you
right.
mean the header over the top, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's steel because you got the lateral they gotta take care of.
So this ROM is going to be updated with new information that we provide them. And after reviewing it, I'd like to make some corrections to it with your approval. So if we start at the if you go to the page 2, I'm sorry, 3E, yeah. If you go to page 2, section 3E, they're talking about 10-foot wide aprons with radiant slab. So there's gonna be no radiant slab. Paving there,
They're talking about outside of the garage, in front of the doors.
right, so there's not gonna be any heat out there.
Yep.
I don't have an E in my number 2.
Page 2,
Oh,
Three.
page 2, 3.
3E, yeah.
What's that?
So there'll be no
So
radiant
we're
slab.
looking at this, the top document.
So we get
Page
a middle of
two,
a
section
snowstorm, the guy's gotta go out and shovel in front of the doors to go to a fire.
I assume that would have been done.
That's what you do now, anyway, right?
Yeah,
Or
the
have a plow.
the only issue is that if you look at the design, especially at Park Street, to get a plow in there, there's gonna be a lot of backblading, which is sucky.
Yeah, you never get close enough to the door.
You're pretty close with mine. Doesn't it divots in the trim?
The next thing is 3H. It says it includes exterior concrete sidewalks and stoops. And that differs from one of the other documents where it excluded the structural narrative. And this was not part of the package. This is something that we received a week ago, or several weeks ago. And this is just a description of what the engineers. At your request, T.F. Moran has compiled design criteria and a proposed structural framing system for the purpose of design coordination. So this is coordination between the structural engineer and Lorero. And in these documents, they specifically exclude concrete walkway. This ROM includes it, so I think we want to include it.
Do we not have concrete walkways?
We do, but whether or not they're included in,
Well, was that just not included in TF
Yeah,
Moran's
Moran's,
scope
but
of
they
work?
may be,
Correct.
okay, but that's between them and TF
Right.
Moran, so we don't wanna get involved in that.
We don't wanna get
Thi-
involved.
This document is what the project will have no matter who provides it.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
But I guess what I wanna do is make sure that they're consistent.
You can
So,
point it out to them that
I will
TF Moran
point-
may not be,
That,
but we
that's,
want 'em,
right, yeah,
right?
that's my intention.
I don't wanna be pouring concrete on a Saturday, do you?
No, Sunday's not better.
I do
But
have,
after
I do
two,
have a
It's a
cement
lot harder to
mixer, I
get
do have a
concrete on
cement
a
mixer,
Sunday than a
but,
Saturday.
yeah.
So the
How
next
come I'm
one
not
is,
surprised?
is page 5, 10, section 10F.
So we're going through your comments, none of us have seen this, right?
Correct.
We're not gonna go line by line to just, you've already reviewed it.
I have, but you're welcome to, I'm
I
sure.
will later, but.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, page 5 one?
10F. It's gonna be Tilton Northfield Fire and EMS.
For the department.
The last thing was directly below that, section 21 through 28. D.
Which is the same thing as.
What, none there is what you're saying?
So there's no radiant or heat in the floor.
So we've decided,
I thought we already had.
I don't think we ever took a vote on that.
No, we talked about the
on
entire
the
floor,
interior, but
the entire floor in the building. But this is the first
What
time
we-
hearing of a heated slab, which,
What we decided, from my recollection, is that we decided that we're gonna go with a regular HVAC system in the living office spaces. We didn't make any decisions on the apparatus floor side. And
It
when I'm
required-
looking at the plans and everything, if we don't have a radiant floor heating in the apparatus space, why do we have boilers?
One of the boilers for the HVAC system?
That would be in the mechanical spaces or the attics.
so we just talked about the forced hot air in the apparatus.
That's makeup air. So like when you take out the radiant floor heating, it basically heats the room.
Yeah.
You take off out of the station, you suck all the hot air out, the doors come down, the heaters come on, heat it back up, and so they're on like 4 or 5 minutes, and they shut off.
I recall us getting a quotation, and one station was 300 grand and the other one was 200 grand adders.
That was complete floor. This is just talking about aprons.
right, but he's saying we never made a decision. I don't recall making a
This
decision either on how you're
particular
heating.
one is the apparatus bay floor. The previous one that we discussed was the apron. So 10,
10D says radiant slab. And the heat
No.
apparatus base slab. Oh, that's the whole base slab.
21 to 28 section
Yeah.
D. It's the one I'm talking about.
Space, oh, it is saying that, and overhead loading, but it's saying exterior concrete application.
So they're running it right outside the doors to the heaters.
And this spot is this.
Makes sense, if
Is
you
this
have
a-
radiant heat, you would.
I recall us getting a quotation for
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
Maybe
it
that's what
was-
you know wasn't.
It
said
was
no, that's too much
mind-boggling,
money.
yeah.
It's expensive, because you gotta put insulation. and-
So, like, the heaters we just talked about hang overhead. Those can heat that space, right?
They can, yes.
And they're powerful enough to make up air.
Yeah, you size them up. Yeah.
Well, do you wanna vote on that, or do you wanna, what do you guys think?
Well, you're saying those heaters, that's what you have at Park Street now, right?
Yes.
And they work fine for regular heat.
Yes.
How do you heat Center Street apparatus bay?
It's kind of the same thing, but it's the ceiling. The ceiling is about this high. It's not the same.
Not the volume.
Yes. Mostly body heat.
Yeah.
And what is typical in
When you
most,
put in the trucks, is that heating?
like what are other fire?
So most new fire stations have radiant floor heating with makeup air heaters on the ceiling.
The thing with the radiant floor thing though, your trucks are heavy. And you, does it matter? I guess it doesn't
Well,
matter.
we
They,
designed
it's
the
reinforced,
concrete-
they make it thicker.
The concrete they're proposing is either 8 or 10 inches thick with
Yeah,
several, 2 layers of rebar and
yeah.
wire mesh and stuff like that, so. That's the typical design for a concrete floor for fire stations.
So do you think we should include the radiant floor heat or not?
I don't.
So they have that in their estimate right now according to this, right?
I would imagine so, because it's in Japan still.
We should shave quite a bit off. I mean, you're talking how many 100,000 is it talking?
I don't,
Half
I'm
a
not
million
sure.
between the two buildings, I think. Does that sound right?
Yeah. One was 218 and the other one was 300, so I couldn't find that estimate.
But that was for the whole building too, wasn't it?
No, that was just
the
the,
apparatus space.
If you go back to page 2, the concrete section, and look at letter B, it says the same thing in the second sentence. Apparatus bay shall receive a radiant slab and 1 inch of rigid styrofoam below.
Yeah, so they're including it.
So they've got it on the floor inside and in the apron outside. And it's listed there under the concrete. And it's listed under the systems. That's why it's listed in both places. One place is talking about the concrete, and one place is talking about the mechanical systems.
I'd use 4,000
Instead of what?
instead of 30. You're gonna
Well,
get 4
I-
anyway. You buy 30.
I vote as far as radiant floor heating is no. Does anyone else have thoughts or comments?
Does it make sense to not have it in the whole floor? But I can see value in having it in the aprons.
In where?
Aprons.
Well, what it would require is now we have to have a hot water boiler
Yeah.
where with no radiant heating at all, we have no boiler.
Just putting radiant outside the aprons, that's
All new fire stations do it that way. They bring
just
it-
the aprons?
No, not just the aprons. They do
That's
the
what you're
floor
talking
and
about.
the
Yeah.
aprons.
Right, that's what Kevin's talking about, just the aprons.
The inside's not gonna build ice anyway, but the aprons outside sure as hell will.
Right. It's an expensive way to keep the ice off, if that's the only place you're gonna put it.
We did that at the legislative office building, all the walkways. But they have steam.
Right, the
They have a
walkways, yeah.
steam.
The new hotel, the whole perimeter is heated, the sidewalks, the swimming pool, the foyer,
Right.
the,
But it's probably hooked into their entire heating system, they're probably doing radiant and a whole bunch of other stuff. Or they just have a separate system, I mean, but you know, that's
That's
you're taking care of
also a
customers.
$95 million building,
Yeah.
so.
You know,
Well, that's-
you're pampering people, you know, at that place.
Well, right, you have customers coming in
Yeah.
the door, and you don't wanna slip and fall, right?
And I think
The-
we need to
Save on
keep it
salt
real.
and all
The-
that stuff.
The long and short of it, though, in the latest Coven in the Head struggle, is that it's $500,000 to put radiant in the whole place. If you do it, it's $500,000. If you don't, it's $500,000 less. The question comes to my mind is, how much difference is that gonna make in the end?
Well, if it's more
Evidently a
efficient.
lot. I mean, we're cutting a lot of things, I mean, the whole thing is right, due diligence, because everybody, I mean, you've argued it yourself about cost cutting.
I know, but I mean, if you cut $500,000 off of $5, $6, $8, $10 million project, percentage-wise, it's a lot higher than off a $20 million project. And you get to a point where you don't make a bit of difference, because you look at the long-run cost of a $20 million project, you take off $500,000, it's not gonna be a significant savings in payment over time. It ain't gonna make, I don't think it's gonna make any difference to anyone who's on the fence that,
Unless you can find 10 or 15 $500,000 items to take it.
Right, but every little bit helps, unless there's an advantage to having this. I see the advantage more in the living space thing,
I would like to,
because
I would,
radiant is really nice
in the,
in the office space.
what is that other section is, we have to pay in the rest.
I would like to find out from like an engineer that specializes in this, what are the benefits and detractors of having it or not having it? And we're all kind of supposing here. I would really like to know what,
Me?
I mean, we just cut a lot less than that.
that's not my ringtone, I can guarantee you that.
Recovery system and the, you know what I'm saying? Those two right there, alternate 1 and alternate 2. I mean,
I guess I don't think we're clear on how much is all that radiant is costing us for the bays and the apron. I don't think any of us can say how much that's costing us.
I thought we knew.
Well, I think the number we were throwing out was for all the admin and living space as well. I thought it was total, but again, I don't think we can come up with it. If somebody can come up with an answer, I'd love to hear it.
I cannot find it.
You know, and then the much smaller number is if you take the radiant heat out of the base, how much more are you going to spend on those other heat units to heat the space? It's probably not.
And that's pretty good, bad, and different on radiant heat in a garage space relative to it activating. You all right?
And we elected not to put it in, except the outside sidewalks.
I've done projects with it, I've never lived it. But I've read that when you take a cold vehicle that's got snow underneath, slush, and you put it in a garage that has radiant floor heat,
Yeah.
whatever it does, it affects the vehicle, the seal in the vehicle. I don't know if any of what I just said is fact, but I've read it.
Yeah. And you create a lot of moisture, so as long as you have proper ventilation.
No experience beyond having done projects with it.
I think yes.
And honestly, most of the projects I've done with it isn't not in concrete. So it's
You
little
know,
fish in
living space.
How do the floors
I did
dry in
that.
the lift station now?
They don't.
They never-
I was shot back up hills.
Yeah. Or it's just water suppresses the ground because there's so many holes in it.
No.
But the concrete never
The
dries out.
water actually seeps up.
Makes a big difference if you want to remodel a building.
Yeah, no, we shot back it all up usually.
Yeah. It's
And they're moving in there, right? Those units.
Yeah, it has,
So it's not a
So those units downstairs will run off hot water.
Yeah, it's a hot water with a fan, it's like a hot water radiator with a fan behind it.
So it's not blowing huge amounts of air like the.
No, no, of course.
No.
radiant heat from the ground is a much.
When I send that question to Brian, Paul, so that we can have more, I think we're kind of floundering here at this point on that specific thing.
So what the cost is, and then, if we remove that, what's the add-on cost to increase the size of what's gonna be the heating system?
Well, would a big concern be, like, I'm trying to project, like, long-term heating costs and stuff, like, what's the difference as far as, because, like, and we're talking about phase, like, I can't really speak to the phase, but when I built my house in 2007, I mean, I put radiant in there, and it's big, I'm doing like almost 5,000 square feet, and my heating bill is, my heat is great, my heating bill is even better, but I mean, also I'm with a good company, but it's so efficient, it just, and the comfort level, but I don't, you know.
The problem with having radiant heat in the living quarters, and I got this from the guys down south. If you're cold, you gotta turn it up, because we have a lot of guys that like it cold. We have some guys that like it warm, and to try and adjust the radiant heat, it takes a long time to make a change difference. And by the time it's different, you are going off duty or someone else is coming on duty.
It's a type of thing that temperature stability
Yeah.
is paramount, both in the setting of the thermostat, because you think about it, you're heating or cooling this slab. How long does it take to heat or cool
Right.
you?
Right, but the goal is a constant temperature throughout the building.
You run a tight ship on that thermostat, like,
Well, you don't play with the thermostat, it's set and that's it.
And the other problem is the spring and the
Radiant
fall,
floor
you
in
need a
our
little bit
office,
of heat in
and I
the
was
morning,
cold
but then
and I
you need
still
air
had no
conditioning in the afternoon.
They had
You
radiant.
can't get the heat in the morning because it takes so long to warm it up, and then when it is warmed up, now you need the air conditioning. It's great in the wintertime.
Okay, so we'll ask Brian to,
So regardless of what heat style is chosen, are we thinking that all these rooms are gonna be different zones? And they're gonna have a thermostat in every room?
no, go to,
Well, if I like it, if I like my sleeping quarters colder than you do,
that's,
it's gonna have to be zoned.
that's,
Or there's gonna be all the sleeping quarters, it's gonna be zoned to a degree, I think.
that's addressed in this document, the zoning.
I'm on a reading.
So here are a couple of my thoughts are on page 2, the apparatus bay. No, Kevin, it's this CSI engineering document. This is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing guides.
That should be in there.
I'll get that.
It's the last document.
CSI, no,
City heating
it's on
apparatus bay.
Oh, the apparatus bay heating.
Apparatus bay heating.
page 2, so.
Yes. And this is in reference to Park Street.
This is Park Street only.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the questions that I'll bring up to Brian. The second thing on page 2 was the plumbing and the living quarters. It says the gas supply to kitchen range with emergency shut-off connected to hood suppression system.
Nope. That's not happening. We're having a residential style stainless steel put over the stove.
That was a conflict, because I had read that it was residential elsewhere.
I was like, Jesus Christ, what kind of cooking stuff you put
Some good, some not so good.
The next thing is on page 4. Kevin, you'll like this one. The power. So we're talking electrical power. And then it's going to be the 4th bullet down. Sorry, 3rd bullet down. At this stage, are the first 3 words of that bullet. We're on page 4, third bullet down.
The elevator electrical
So we
needs?
don't-
Right.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Yeah, so scratch it. I was like,
So if you look at the date of that report, we were having an elevator at that point in time. That's why there's so many
Right.
errors and
Well,
omissions.
I guess the object of me going over this is so that we can give this back to Brian and say, this is what we'd like changed.
is any of this like the CSI for the heating and the plumbing and all that,
Yes.
is that in here?
Yes.
Ah, okay, so that, I mean, that'll. Well, the elevator's probably.
Well,
so
you
does
know,
the
in this
electrical.
part, there's no elevators,
Right.
speaking of
That's
elevators on this one.
So they took this information.
But the
and
date
used
of
it
this
to
is
come up
September
with-
9th. The date of that's June or something.
Right, okay.
That's why, Paul, I asked you,
So, if this is June and this is September, why do we have this? This is,
Hasn't been updated. I don't know if
okay,
we need to.
then the question is, why hasn't it been updated? We're not dealing with current information.
because they can't keep going back to the contractor to continuously update it because they run out of energy on it, and then when they really want it for the final push, they're not gonna get it.
They're better off to get everything to these guys. I mean, we've been changing things all along. All you're doing is coming up with it. They'll get it.
The next thing I found cheap is there's 2 plumbing sections. There's one on page 4, and there previously been one on page 3. So that whole plumbing section needs to get updated.
I think I would just leave it that they will update this for the current needs. Right? And
It would
that's
be
their-
commonsensical if they would do that, would they?
Right, they just have, it's just not up to date. You can point out 1 or 2 things, but once you start doing that, they're saying, oh, they reviewed it, I don't need to.
That's
We're not,
one of the
we're
points
not
that when I
reviewers.
talked to you about this the other day. I says there's 1,000 things that are changed in here that are not, that we've changed that are not reflected in these documents.
But that's up to the railroad to coordinate with their subcontractors.
Yeah.
I think we're going way down where we don't belong.
It's, this is the document really that we have to deal with. The rest of this stuff is what they deal with to get to here.
They'll review it and say, CSI, we shouldn't be reviewing their subcontract. I mean, you can mention it to them, but my point is when you point out 1 or 2 or 3 things and you've missed 4 or 5,
There's typos in here too that I found, so.
Right.
Well, the next.
you can point those out and just say, and they're maybe not limited to. How's that?
Well, I think this brings to light, the ROM document brings to light something that I don't recall us ever talking about, and it's a pretty substantial number. They're talking about $800,000 to connect
The sewer.
Sanborn Road to sewer. And with Tilton Northfield Aqueduct's love of putting it to buildings, I can see a huge expense coming from them to run a water service to Sanborn Road.
So the water's there, and this is the plan. The lot's not gonna get subdivided. The police station has their water coming from before the fire hydrant. We're gonna take our water from before the fire hydrant, run it laterally to the fire station. There'll be two lines, a fire suppression line and a domestic line. Domestic line will probably be like 2 inches. The fire suppression line will probably be 4 inches. It would be a normal connection fee. If we take water from this side of the fire hydrant, we have to get into that Ponzi scheme that the water district runs that charges more money because it's on the newer side of that fire hydrant. This side of the fire hydrant is all paid for, so that's where we're gonna grab our water.
And the
Whose
commissioners,
land is that?
the
The
commissioners,
land is the town's.
the commissioners already spoke to the selectmen and shared this concern about the cost of connecting with water, and that if we could connect to the PD water line, and they were in agreement, because obviously it's everybody's same pockets are pulling the money out.
What did I hear about it not being subdivided?
Oh, we'll subdivide it later. This is my Ponzi scheme.
I don't like the parking lot.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
have we got that?
They give it to you, that was a good thing.
The sewer line, because of what comes out of a fire station, has to be managed. It's more cheaply managed with that $800,000 sewer than our own water filtration, something system, septic systems underneath parking lots on site.
And the PD is not connected to the sewer system.
And PD is not connected to the sewer system. They have, their septic system is underneath the parking lot.
Would they like to be? I would think they'd like to be.
I would, the reason they didn't connect to the sewer because it was an additional cost and they were trying to meet a number at some point. I'm sure they'd like to be because at some point the septic system's gonna need replacement. And maybe that's when they'll hook up. And maybe we can run our own additional Ponzi scheme saying that since we paid for the sewer, you could contribute to the cost of it.
You gotta pay out.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't do, because it's the town, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when Northfield had the fire in the garage. We didn't charge the town of Northfield for any permits or inspections or anything like that. It's the town. When we were building our tower on Shed Road, they wanted to charge us permits. I says, hey, I didn't charge you permit fees for this. Why are you charging? And they went to the select board. Okay, we'll let it not do permits. Permits are free. We don't charge the schools for permits or anything like that. I mean,
It's all the same.
it's all the same.
Same.
All the taxpayers just paid it. We just moved
Money
it
out
from.
here to.
Yeah, I mean,
So they could afford a couple flags to put up at the school then. Do we know?
So,
that's something I have to hear. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
No, I've been running around town all day putting flags at half mast and finding who's got the keys to all the different poles that we're responsible for at the Legion.
Yeah.
So I just drove by the school just to do a quickie. They don't even have flags up. Never mind going to half mast. It's just nothing there. They're just like I'm just befuddled that the high school and the middle school have an American flag on those goddamn
That was
poles.
a big thing at school.
Dude.
The flag up.
It just tires me. I'm sorry. I don't want. That's I digress.
so with respect to the water service at Sanborn Road, have you or the Board of Selectmen contacted Tilton Northfield Aqueduct to see if there'll be a connection fee of any kind, or is this something that's
Oh,
going
they're
on?
going to charge us a fee.
Is
The
that-
aqueduct always charges.
My point is any of that included in this?
All fees, if you read the documents, read that the fire district is responsible for paying all fees for permits, for connecting inspections and stuff like that.
Well, yeah,
It's not
the
included in
fire district is required to pay for the whole project.
Right, but it's not included in the cost of construction.
Should we find out what that cost is gonna be, so
It's
that
probably
we
online. They probably have it in their schedule online.
There are a lot of costs that are not included in this. This is just the
Yeah,
construction.
you saw something about
cost.
hazardous,
That's the Park Street, the old septic system could be
Well, that's
considered
very-
hazardous. But we want to keep that material on site if at all possible. That way,
So-
we don't have to transport it, and it's,
So back to
It's-
this,
it's
we're gonna
gonna-
have to have numbers that we add to that 8 million or whatever. You know,
Oh, that
these
8
numbers, we have to have our construction testing, we have to have, special inspections, that kind of thing, that's all added.
so
right?
the inspection of the concrete, that's on them. But the inspection for certificate of occupancy, things like that, that's on us.
who's that come from?
So the certificate of occupancy, the life safety portion comes from the fire department, and
We're gonna pass those?
we're gonna pay ourselves, yeah. And then the actual CO comes from the municipality.
So special inspections aren't required on the fire station?
There's a sprinkler inspection, there's,
No,
yes,
I'm
there
talking
are,
about the code it's mostly structural and HVAC and all of it.
right,
That
those do
IBC.
not require special inspections.
well, it's called special, it's part of the IBC.
Yeah.
Special inspections, it's concrete, it's steel, it's your welds, all of that. You're saying that one?
That's not part of, those costs are part of the construction cost. Any outside
So
inspections.
they're gonna hire a sub to do?
They
It's usually
can.
an independent, it's not usually the contract. But okay. They've included it in.
That's my understanding.
Well, in the way you read this, it's like $800,000 allowance has been included
For the sewer.
for the sanitary line.
Yeah,
So
allowances
if it's a
are.
$500,000, it's 300, if it's $1 million, we're 200 short.
They have to run that down Sanborn Road and connect that to the main intersection.
At the lights.
Yeah.
Where is, the whole business park, how do they drain down to the sewer system? They go out
They go
behind
through the
Home
back behind Home Depot.
Yeah.
99.
That's where their gas comes in through there too.
Like, we can't change allowances, that's money it's actual cost, when you're actually building it, you're billing against that allowance, if you don't spend it all, it's not like they get it.
So,
It's a,
No, but if they're
yeah,
short.
so in the end, they're gonna give us a guaranteed maximum price. If we come in cheaper, it's cheaper.
It's
They don't get the
open- it's
money.
open.
It's money that we don't spend because of the way that it's gonna be financed. We take like a construction loan, and you only borrow as much as you need, but you have a maximum amount that you can borrow. Say you need $1 million to build a garage, and you get $1 million loan to do it, but as you build it, it only costs you $880,000. That under $120,000, you just never take out of the bank, and then you finance your mortgage, the rest of it. You know, that's how this is going to kind of work.
So they have the septic in there, they don't have the water.
Right.
I still, the two numbers that freak me out the most, when I'm looking, I'm still trying, one, I just think that Sandman Road, the earthwork is what kills me. And I'm looking at Sandman Road being more money than even Park Street, which,
So I think that requires an explanation. I don't know
Yeah, they got, cause I'm just
Does
like,
the earthwork include, is it that septic line on that line item thing?
well,
I
on
think
this
it's-
sheet,
yeah.
on this sheet, it's strictly earthwork.
I think,
And they do jump out at you, cause they're the, I mean, not, it's,
I think the
It's
sanitary
yeah, they are the
line,
biggest numbers on both, on
I
both
think the
sites.
sanitary line is included with the dirt work on Sanborn Road, which is 800,000.
But even at that, I'm like, holy crap. I mean, yeah, but that's earthwork. Earthwork doesn't include slabs.
Nope.
Or any of that stuff. We're talking just moving the damn dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and bringing some
So-
in too,
Yeah, you can, yeah, dirt's
But that's
expensive,
a
I
lot.
get it, I've been buying some, but,
it's a lot, 1.9.
yeah, I'm just like, God
For
almighty.
this site, cause I thought this was the,
If you take the 800 out, that's still.
So 1.1 million.
yeah, it's a lot, it's a
Yeah,
lot.
but that's my point. I look at that flat, I mean, we went over there for the night out, and it was
You
like,
look like it looks
Flat.
flat, but it's not.
yeah, but I can't imagine it's gonna take that much to bring the, I mean, I know things have to be excavated, I get all that, but,
Are you
I
talking about?
recall previous numbers being in the neighborhood of 500 for Sanborn Road and 900 for
Yes, that's what I
Park
recall as
Street.
well, yeah.
So,
just,
So right now,
Oh,
as
yes.
it stands, Sanborn Road earthwork, remember we were all saying, oh, there was too much earthwork on Park Street. Park Street is less than Sanborn Road, is what they're saying,
yeah.
which
And
is
if-
the opposite of their original report.
But I'm looking, yeah, but when you look at the site plans on Park Street, it's like, there's a lot of damn earthwork that needs to be done.
There is.
Walls, retaining walls and all that, I mean, it's just like,
Yeah,
and then
we
I'm just
gotta
like,
get
and I look at this and I'm like, you know, you gotta scratch it.
Well, but again, if you take that $800,000 out, Park
But
Street
that's
is
still
now
a million something.
400,000.
Oh, you're saying take it, I thought we were taking that
Take the $800,000 out of the Sanborn Road earthwork
for what?
for the sanitary
Sewer.
line.
the sewer
Do we
Right,
have a
right.
sewer line in,
It's
near
in
Park
the
Street?
city.
Anything that's in there.
yeah,
Okay, so you're taking it out of both?
no,
No, no, no.
just
Just
Sanborn Road.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're not taking 800 out of Park Street?
No, no, no.
Oh, that's what I
I'll-
asked.
I'm
You
gonna-
I'm
said
sorry.
yes.
I'll ask them to
You take-
send me a detail or breakdown
So you take
on how to get
800,000
those numbers at each site.
out of Sanborn Road, you're at 1.1 million,
Right,
and then you look at Park Street, you're at 1.5.
right. You would expect this Park Street to be way more than, even with that 800 gone. Right, this is a nice flat site, that's why we chose it, right?
And you're right, and I don't think that when they did the test borings, I don't think there was anything that was that remarkable. That was indicative of like, holy Christ, this is going to do a lot.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't do the test borings where the new building is gonna be placed.
Oh,
You know,
but
that's,
even still, I would imagine.
We didn't do borings over there?
You
I
would
thought
think.
we did.
they
they
did,
did
but they're not at the perimeter of where the new building is. If you look at that plan, there's
close.
But it's
five.
within the building area, right?
It's
It's
close.
within the, yeah, it's within that area, but it's
It
not,
has to be two different.
Doesn't change that
In the
much
same
unless it's
state.
fill. It's in.
well, unless there's a tank underground and a retired septic system and stuff like that, right?
Over here?
In Park Street.
Okay, I'm talking Sanborn Road.
Oh, I'm
As
sorry.
far as this site, Sanborn Road, should be
Easier.
Pretty
easier and
Right.
nowhere near what Park Street should be, but it's not.
I'm gonna ask him to send a breakdown, a detailed list of breakdown of how they arrived at those numbers for each site. What's the, because on the surface, it doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah, it's like a red light.
And
The fire truck coming in.
HVAC is a big red light, $2
Images.
million
You know?
bucks. HVAC, yeah. I mean, it's probably real, I'm not saying it's not.
That's why I got my nephew enrolled down there in Manchester. He's in the HVAC program.
Gonna take care of you.
Dude, I said, "Do you need a trade?" I said, "HVAC's not. None of them are bad, but you know, it's a pretty good one, bro."
Concrete numbers low.
Let's focus. Are there any questions that you guys want to present to Lorero? And I totally understand this was all thrown in your lap tonight.
Well, let me ask you this, what did, so we called this meeting, we knew it was gonna come after that, did you achieve what you wanted to tonight, earlier? Okay.
So, I don't know what document this is.
That's a rough order of magnitude.
On page 2, item 2, number 2. Any testing or removal of hazardous or contaminated materials shall be provided by TNFD prior to Center Street crossing. So we've got to bear the cost of abatement on top of everything else?
That's what that says. Does Center Street
That's-
need abatement, or has it been abated?
It's gonna be fine. We've already gone out to bid on it. I've got pricing on it. We're gonna have to go out again.
Well, wait a
because
minute, are they even involved? Oh, they're.
They're not involved in it.
Well,
They
doing
thought,
the
they
removal.
thought they were gonna be the ones tearing it down. I says, we can put a price, but we're not gonna be
It's not part of
responsible
the
for it. It's not part of the contract.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's the
You
last,
could bid on it.
that's the last
Yeah,
piece of it.
And I already got bids on it, to find out what the cost would be in relationship to the land swap and all that kind of stuff.
So we have essentially 1 month to fine tune these documents for the public outreach. I have not reviewed these floor plans yet, so what I'd like to do is have us review the floor plans and these other documents, and at our next meeting, make sure that everything is copacetic so that we can,
Should I buy magnifying glasses for everybody?
I forgot mine today.
Well, when you say
You read it
review the
last
floor
time.
plan, I thought we already reviewed floor plans, and this should be the result of what we.
it should be.
It is.
That's where I'm going.
I've looked at them today thoroughly. They're accurate.
Well,
We
actually,
haven't looked at the roof.
I did have a question on that, because the floor plans we have here of Sandman Road, did we decide to go with a flat roof
We didn't,
on the apparatus bay?
I sent it to them as a question, which would be more efficient or cheaper to do? And the answer, I guess, is still pitch.
Pitch here. No, because I just noticed that when I looked at that, it had the pitch.
Because they didn't change it. As I said, if it's cheaper to be flat, or more efficient to be flat, make it flat. And they came back pitched. I'll reshoot that out to them.
Sure. I personally have no, I don't care. Just curious.
I think it would be nice if both stations sort of had some similarity.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, I think that's why we brought it up to them.
Right. Maybe they'd already done this by the time we brought that up.
Maybe. What's today's date?
11th. Patriots Day over at the Legion right now.
Well, I wish it's the 24th anniversary of 9/11.
9/11.
You're not missing anything, unless you remember.
Oh.
Missing pizza. Free pizza, but it's from Hilton, Hilton,
Oh, Jesus.
I'll sign you if you want. Probably gone by now.
My hopes up and dashed.
That's what I do.
An option, an option.
So are next scheduled meeting is the 22nd, which is a week and a half from now. Do you think that we should and then the following meeting is the 30th. So we have 2 more meetings this month. Does everyone think that's adequate?
We have a meeting on
I
the
don't
thirtieth
have
too?
anything on the
I thought we had
30th.
Oh, I'm
29th.
sorry,
on the
it's a budget.
7th.
Oh, I was like, I
That's
had
a
it down as the
budget committee
29th.
meeting.
Sorry, my mistake.
No worries, oh yeah, the 30th, the budget, yeah. That's right. we gotta
It's
put that-
just the organizational meeting.
We're gonna vote you chairman.
Oh, no. I honestly,
So-
I can't do chairman again this year.
So we have a meeting on the 22nd. Do you wanna schedule another one for the following Monday, the 29th?
I thought we had, I got it written in here.
Do you?
No, did we not?
Tim?
I can do that.
No, I mean, do we have one scheduled for the 29th?
Not on the website, that's my
I
calendar.
have it, it's the October 7th, and then we have it on the 22nd. Should I go?
Freaking meetings I have.
Oh crap, no, I'm in September, yeah, okay. I had to look, I thought it was,
So do you think the 29th would be beneficial?
if we're meeting on the 22nd as well.
23rd, yeah, no, the commissioners are meeting on the 20th.
So our next
Commission
scheduled
budget.
meeting is the 22nd, right? Does everyone agree?
Yes.
What is scheduled?
Yes.
Okay.
What would you anticipate for the following week that we would be doing?
We honestly should be finalizing things if we get Lorero to correct and update this. We'll be able to review it on the 22nd. And then it's really going to be, our focus after that is gonna be, what do we want to add to the public outreach? What are our goals?
Right, which is gonna be the end of October, so I mean, our scheduled October meetings are when now?
We have none in October,
Not in October?
but
Actually,
Do
no.
we need,
have the 7th
I have one on the 7th
and the 27th.
and the 27th.
thank you.
Sure that book's going up, isn't it?
Hmm?
Sure that book's going up.
You know,
And
transfer all that to
27th?
my electronic one.
Lisa, 27th?
October, you have the October 7th,
Yeah,
which is a Tuesday, and then October 27th, which is a
okay.
Monday.
The other thing, so we need to get anything we want included in the public outreach, we have to get to Lorero so that they can make the easel boards or the slides for the PowerPoint or whatever. So,
Almost, do they need more than a couple weeks or just under a couple weeks?
No, we're giving as much time as possible. Next,
so do you think on the 29th we should get together to address that?
why not address it on the 22nd?
We could do that too.
That's when our scheduled meeting is,
Right.
right? Why push it off?
You guys all agree?
Honestly, I mean, if we have to go a little bit later on that night instead of meeting another, because I'm like meeting out. Not fatigued, I mean, I've got a lot of other shit.
Okay, so on the 22nd, we'll review the final documents from Lorero and discuss public outreach. Our next meeting after that will be October 7th, and then if required, October 27th.
Sounds good.
Is that all right with everyone? Okay. Any further comments about the documents that you've all seen tonight? Anything that we should discuss with Lorero?
Not for the, well, I can't say that. I said it for a few meetings, didn't I?
Can you spell it?
It is late though.
Yeah, if I look at the paper.
I have to go through it and read it, it's really.
Even, the paper we have in one of these documents, that includes the numbers. The message I got was, they don't go anywhere.
Well, I can't dictate that. I would
That's what I'm
suggest,
saying, that this is a public meeting.
I would suggest that we do not publish that information until it's more concrete. That's my only comment.
But it's on there and it's on there. And it's a public meeting.
Only if you've given the numbers out. I haven't spoken the numbers at all tonight. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
No, but I just.
But all these documents are public.
It's transparency, I don't have a problem with it being public.
I
We're
don't,
still
I
working
mean, I
on
don't have any
massaging
plans
it.
of going out
to-
there and trying to fire up the world with them,
no,
Right,
you know?
but
I mean, if that's what, you know, that's me. You know,
I mean,
like
we're
I said,
still
when we
working,
get a more
we're
concrete
still
number.
working to get confirmation on a lot of the numbers, because we think some of them are high.
they're almost not even worthy of the paper they're written on at this point, right?
We don't know, we don't
Right.
have
I mean, they're really, from my perspective, they're really not, it's kind of waste of ink. If you use ink anymore.
Well, but on that, I mean, so how do they, I mean, are they doing guesstimates, or have they actually gone to contractors and supply, you know?
That's what they're doing, like the MEP stuff, they're going to
Right.
contractors right now. They have software that does a lot of this
Right.
predicting too, which you said they used a lot of. But they said they really won't know until it's totally final and they
Exactly.
send it out.
Right.
And that's when they come back with that GMP.
Do they have other projects going that they could
It's a big company, I guess.
take, you know, an idea of, well, that one is kind of like this and that costs this one?
Well, that's
That
what
gets
they're
us
doing.
in the ballpark.
That's
Is
what
that
they're
where
doing.
these are from?
Oh, sure that is. They know the average per cubic yard excavation, they plug it in, it's close.
Hopefully they read like the art of the deal, they're just trying to shock us so we'll feel better later
Well,
on.
not only that, we don't want low numbers on this, because you wanna make sure you have enough money for the project.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I keep waiting for one of these documents, we turn to the page and one says, psych!
You looking for one? I'll give one.
I think we did good.
I'll make a
I
motion
think we
to
did good
adjourn.
tonight.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 7:05, Lauren, thank you so much. Thank you all for your indulgence and patience.